Yeah. Today is Wednesday, November 13th, 2024. The time is 7:00 p.m. I'd like to call the Finance Personnel Committee meeting to order. Myself and Mike Cappers present.
Chris Duback present.
Donnie Kern present via Zoom.
The public, there's nobody in the hall today. Any public comment from Mr. Seacard or Ms. Brenda Forrest? Hearing none, we go through the minutes of October 8th, 9th, October 22nd, and October 30th meetings. I've already had a chance to go through them. They look good to me.
One question I had brought up about the time that we were going to have the office open on Friday. It would have been on the October 9th meeting. It said current asked if the office could be open late on Friday, October 25th for absentee voting, but there was an agreement and there was a change for that to be extended on that day. I think minutes should at least reflect that the office staff accommodated the request to extend the office hours on that day.
Andrea will put that in about that. Andrea will go with that. Thank you, Donnie.
That's the only addition that I had. Which I appreciate the staff being able to do that for voting purposes. That being said, if nobody else has anything on it, I'd like to move along and approve the minutes as amended.
For a second,
I'll second the motion.
any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Christina, library report, please.
Hey guys, I hope you're having a good evening. Yeah, kind of following up on the election that was held, of course, at the library this year, and it went really smoothly thanks to Tasia and Andrea and all the election workers. It went really good. We have a door counter at the library, and we recorded 1,583 people into the library that day. So it proves we can handle a lot. I think it's the smoothest I've ever seen the election run. We've had it a couple times at the library in the past. So it went well. We also have our silent auction going on right now too. There's 150 items donated by the public that wraps up on Friday. We expect that we'll be able to largely fund our teen and adult and children's programs in 2025, thanks to the Friends of the Library too. So things are going well. They're busy there. And I just want to say, when I left the library this evening, there was it's really rewarding to work at the library. When in the RCU community room, there was the Parks and Trails Coalition for the county. There's a group of 6 women meeting in the maker space for the craft space, and one of them being special needs too, and she's really found a community there. So it's really nice to kind of work in a hub where you see so many people from the community just coming together and collaborating, getting to know one another. I think that's more what we're all looking for in our small towns. So I think the library has a lot to offer in the fact of drawing people together and being that place. So
Thank you. Nice job with the election. That was, for how many people came through, you guys did a wonderful job. And then
yeah,
the Lions Club just had their meeting down there Monday night. So
yep, they did. Well, that's all I got, unless you guys have any questions about anything or suggestions, what you'd like to see at the library.
just anything that we can help out with.
Yeah, spread the word about the public library. I think word of mouth, you can kind of see where people are in the report, where people are finding out about the library. And word of mouth in our small community is probably our best advertisement. So when you see a program here or a service, or maybe you see something that you hear of something that one of your constituents is looking for, and perhaps that's something that we'd be able to offer at the library too. So
Christina, do you guys do anything like email blasts to people that want to get signed up to get notified of certain events that you guys are doing?
Yeah, we do. It's just like a monthly e-newsletter that we have that'll have all the registration links. It's different every month of what's going on with our programs, but then we'll have services. Sometimes we'll put information on meeting rooms and how people reserve those types of things. So that's a great way to get signed up. So yeah,
All right, thank you so much.
yeah, thank you.
Impact fee report.
In your packet, there was one additional, I believe, since the last report.
So there's one more since the one that's in here, you're saying,
No,
or?
one more since the last report, so the
Okay, so just the
10/20.
Woodstock for,
Yep.
for the Peterson building,
Mhm.
so that brings us up to 20 for the year. Do you know about where we were at this time last year?
Double that.
Was it double that?
Andrea, has any additional applicants, or have you heard any additional applicants coming in at all? With the new addition up in Pineville?
No,
Okay. But the new rate, the new rates are in effect, correct?
yes, November 1st, they went into effect.
Right, Woodstock got in before, that the latest one got in before that increase, correct?
Yes.
Okay,
Department head meeting report?
There was no meeting yet.
weren't the department heads to get together to discuss the dental pursuant to discussions from our last meeting?
We did, and I believe I reported last, whichever budget meeting that we did meet and decided on Delta Dental.
Twenty 24 budget to date and fund balances. Anything that sticks out, Andrea?
No. All of the insurance, maybe not all, but the majority of the, insurance accounts, property and liability insurance are over. And that is due to a invoicing error for 2023 that was caught,
What kind of error?
invoicing.
Oh, invoicing.
It was caught after the audit had already been done, so it had to be applied to 2024 instead of 2023. So 2023 was short and 2024 is going to be over.
So insurance companies invoice us incorrectly.
They did not invoice us
They
our
didn't
last
even invoice
installment.
us.
Mhm.
Oh, just the last installment?
Yep.
How often
There's
is
four
installment?
installments.
Quarterly installments?
So you'll see, like at the bottom of page 4, under admin, property and liability insurance. And then, close to the bottom of page 5, the under police, the workers' comp is over. All of them are,
How did it get missed in the audit as well?
I'm not sure. So,
It's kind of an expensive process to
yeah,
miss something that's would kind of stick out like a sore thumb, I would think.
yeah. I mean, it would show there were only 3 payments, but
Right,
that would be the only thing.
Library wages. 126,000 is the budget, and only used 31,000 of it so far. Page 7, line 2 under Health and Human Services.
We have 31,000 left.
Left. Oh, I got you. Yeah. Good. Chris, Donnie, anything on that?
Nothing sticks out to me.
New business, discussion, possible recommendation, St. Croix County tax collection agreement, boilerplate every year.
Yep,
Move to recommend reestablishment of that. You do need a motion for that, right, to go to the board?
correct.
Move to approve recommend the participation agreement for St. Croix County tax collection.
Second.
First and a second, further discussion, all in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Yeah, all three of us, discussion, possible recommendation, dental insurance renewal. Andrew, you wanna touch on the Delta Dental?
So it's who we have now. There was a 8% increase on premiums, which equates to roughly $150 more a month. As I said earlier, the department heads felt that it was best to stay with Delta Dental versus switching to somebody that didn't have the best network in the city.
Make a motion to approve Delta Dental to the full board.
One second.
Further discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Discussion, possible recommendation, IT proposals.
So Joel brought up, or our chief of police brought up that they need the IT service that's provided to us certified for something with police. I don't really know what exactly the certification is, and that Impact Group doesn't have that certification. Impact Group is our current IT provider. So he reached out to this company, CIT, Computer Integration Technologies. They provide their services to other police departments and municipalities, one of them being North Hudson. And we met with Joy, and she explained how the services work. It's very similar to when we had managed services with Impact Group. But not as expensive as that was. All the department heads felt like we're not really getting any service from Impact Group anymore.
I agree with that statement.
They did provide me with a statement of work, and it basically was a 40-page document that is $1,000 a month. But still, they don't have that certification, so we all would like to switch to this company.
So move.
Dave Enrique's been around here for 25 years, so it's gonna probably.
Dave doesn't even work on our stuff anymore.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I will second it, Donnie. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Alright.
Aye. And then monthly subtotal is 747 plus some change with tax,
No
790.
tax.
Oh,
Do they,
no,
do they
yeah,
have tax on
they do on the back of the.
it? No,
first
we
page.
would not pay
We would not pay it. 747 monthly. So it's a savings and it has more features. Perfect. Discussion possible approval 2025 wages.
I didn't put anything in the packet. I didn't know what to put in.
Did we ever get the breakdown of what the different percentages would be?
Certain classes. Um,
Donnie, you kind of have been spearheading the contract and wages stuff up. Do you want to speak to your thoughts?
My thoughts were kind of discussed a little bit last meeting that we had. I heard what everybody said, and I completely am concerned with. I looked out at a couple other municipalities too, and I couldn't get a real firm. Oh, this is what's needs to happen. I mean, I can tell every municipality kind of operates under their own. Looking at it, I'm not comfortable with a 4.5% from what I've been seeing and hearing and such I've done a lot of thinking about that, but would like to hear what other individuals have to say too. My it's not all about wages are a very difficult thing to discuss, and I know people have taken some thoughts on it, but as far as, well, we're trying to make up ground from other areas, but uh, you know we also have to operate within our means. And if I'm looking into next year, I'd love to give the guys a 5% wage increase, and then next year we'd probably be struggling to balance our budget without passing a tax increase on somebody, and that's what concerns me too. And I know Bob has mentioned about fiscalness and being very conservative, and I appreciate that. So I'm listening to other individuals too, but I got a feeling of where I feel everything should be, but what does other individuals have to say?
I've done my fair share of research too. I feel comfortable at 4%. I don't know what you, Chris.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking too.
Is
I
that
wish
right?
we could give them more, they certainly deserve it, but we have to be fiscally conservative and balance that out.
Your thoughts, Andrea?
I have no thought.
Are you good with 4%, Ronnie?
Well, that's kind of where I was leaning at. I was leaning between 3.5% and 4%. 4% on the high side, since I would say our guys are worth 4%. I think we could get that into the budget, and I'm really concerned though about next year, and I hope that we'll be able to do something for them next year too.
I have a question. Was this not decided at the last meeting to go to a full village board?
The public or finance personnel committee meeting.
I'm a village board member.
I'd say we can make that recommendation.
Yeah,
That was the recommendation at the last meeting, so I'm confused why this is being talked about at all.
sounds like we're gonna make a recommendation for the full board, and if the full board wants to do something different, they can.
I'm just confused why we're talking about it again, why you guys are even talking about it again when it was already said to go to the full board.
There hasn't been a recommendation from the finance personnel committee meeting, Brandon. So that's what it is tonight. Possibly. What do you want to make motion?
I'll make motion to present to the full board a 4% wage increase across for all village employees.
So including part-time. Because
Yes.
it was
Just be
just 4.5
full-time.
full-time, 3% part-time.
Right.
So for full-time,
Well, I don't know. What do you guys think?
for full-time, that's what we're talking about right now, is for the wages.
Okay, so 4% for full-time. Do we want to do 3% for part-time? Or 3.5?
Donna, your thoughts on part-time?
Well, motion's on the floor. I think a motion needs to be satisfied on that before any discussion needs.
Okay, I'll amend my motion for 4% full-time and 3.5% part-time.
Is there a second?
I'll second it, motion.
First and a second, any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Discussion possible recommendation, the 2025 proposal general fund, debt fund and capital improvement fund budgets. Andrew, anything to report here?
Well, it's the same as the last meeting and now all the wages are incorrect, so. I don't know what you want me to do with that. I can't fix it on. fly
Right now,
here.
yeah, that's no problem. Can you email it out to us when you do,
Yep.
update it? That's what it would look like if that does get passed.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No other changes other than the wages then, Andrea? And the new benefits with Delta Dental, will that be reflected in this budget sheet, or is that gonna have to be changed also?
It was already in there.
Okay,
And then how much did you say health insurance went up?
0% for the higher deductible plan and 2% for the lower deductible.
will the reduction with the wage reduction take us down from, say, the mill rate of 6.50?
I believe, if I remember correctly from last meeting, it was $3,000 less. So I don't know that that's going to change your $6.50 mill rate.
Okay. And that mill rate is recommended to the board?
It will be, yes.
Okay, all right. Well, I guess the full board would have to look at it with the changes brought forward. And we know that it's gonna be $3,000 roughly less than what we're looking at right now. Is that correct?
Correct.
So I'll make a motion to approve the proposed budget with the changes in the wages to reflect for the village board's consideration. All other items would stay the same, would give us the same mill rate roughly of 6.5. $6.50 per 100,000, that's a mill rate, yeah.
Second,
One second.
any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, everybody. Convene to close session as per Wisconsin statutes 19.85, parent 1, parent E, deliberating, negotiating the 2025 to 2027 police collective bargaining agreement.
Second the motion.
Roll call, Donnie,
Aye.
myself, yes.
Chris Dubak, aye.
We'll convene closed session at 7:26 PM.
Well, I think what we're gonna. Donnie Kern would like to make a motion to recommend the approval of the recommended language changes for the contract with the police association. Subject and a 2-year agreement with 4% each year of the contract for 2 years, subject to ratification by the Police Association Union.
Got a first and a second.
I'll second.
First and a second, any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Future agenda items? Anybody got anything?
Well, next month it'll be the special fund budget. Did I say next year? Next month.
Next month will be the special fund budgets. Somebody want to make the final motion?
One last question on future agenda items. I know that the town has been asking about us taking over 180th. Is that something that we need to deal with in finance and personnel, or is that something that needs to be taken up with just the whole board to start that process in January? Not saying it needs to happen in December, because I know they wanted to take care of their stuff with their road aid or whatever for this year, but I think next year they wanted to get it off their books.
No, there's nothing that would require it to be at finance.
Okay, that's
Have you
all.
been discussing it at Public Works?
Yeah.
Is that where it's coming from?
It hasn't. It was discussed at the joint meeting, and that can be brought up in January, in January at the joint meeting. I think that's our next meeting, correct?
Yeah.
Why don't you put it on the December Public Works agenda? That way you can go to the full board in December.
Or are you
Okay.
saying you can wait till January?
I think we.
Go ahead.
That's fine. We can, talk about it later. I'll talk to Bob and see what that process is for taking over, road jurisdictions like that.
And I think if you're gonna address it at the Public Works meeting next month, that'll give us time to prepare to take it over in January.
Right. Well, I know they wanted it for next year, but I just don't know when, so. But obviously, that's all. If it's not in finance, that's all I needed to know. Okay, move to adjourn.
You're a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Meeting adjourned at 7:52 PM. See you down.